Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's live training. I'm so happy to see you. Whether you are here live or catching the replay, I'm always happy to see people joining me for these. I really enjoy doing them. And today we're really paying attention to that feeling where you're constantly battling, the fact that chronic pain is robbing you of life's most precious moments. And this comes up a lot with people I talk to, that it's robbing you of your joy. And so today we're diving into how to reclaim your balance and overcome the weight of missed opportunities. And because you deserve and you are capable of living fully despite the unpredictability of pain. For those of you who are new, my name is Dr. Redmond. I'm a chronic pain strategist for women. I specialize in helping high achieving women, highly motivated women like you navigate the complexities of chronic pain. And so my mission is to guide you in reclaiming control over your life so that pain doesn't dictate your activities or your happiness. And in today's session, we'll explore how to balance the demands of chronic pain with the desire to live fully and meaningfully, with the desire to have joy. And before we dive in, if you're tired of feeling like chronic pain is holding you back from living your best life and you're ready to find a new path to feel like yourself again, let's talk. You can book a call with me to explore how my program can help you reclaim your joy, your vitality, your confidence from that grip of pain. And if you have any questions or you want to see if it's the right fit, my DMs are always open, so feel free to reach out anytime. I am genuinely here to support you. Let me put the link to book a call in the comment section right now. All right, there we go. So many women that I talk to will say to me that pain is really this constant barrier to living fully. They worry that they will have pain forever and that it's always going to interfere with living fully, that this just comes with the experience of pain, that I will always have to worry about whether or not I'm going to be able to attend my kids' sports activities or show up and volunteer at their school or be able to sit through that meeting at work when it hurts so bad to sit, or finish this thing that I have due because I'm just in a crash because I flared up my pain. We know that it can feel like this thing that gets in the way of everything we want to do. And many people start to worry that it will always do that. And chronic pain can often lead to a belief that it will forever impede our ability to engage in life's activities and reach our personal goals. And this belief really is reinforced very easily by the persistent nature of pain. So this can make daily tasks feel overwhelming. It can limit one's ability to participate fully in personal and professional activities. And the research shows that this mindset is really common among individuals with chronic pain, but it can lead to a cycle of avoidance and decreased activity, which can further contribute to feelings of guilt and frustration. Many believe that chronic pain will always prevent them from fully engaging in life and achieving their goals. This mindset, again, leads to guilt and frustration. And this can sort of reinforce that sense that life is just sort of slipping away. And to take this a step further, for many years, the dominant approach to chronic pain was centered around the idea of learning to live with it, or you just have to accept this pain. And some of you may have heard that in your standard care appointments. But this perspective also emphasizes that we have to adapt to pain, that it's this unchangeable part of life. And the focus here is on managing pain day to day and accepting it as a permanent fixture in our lives. But this mindset is not one that I agree with, and it often leads to the notion that people have to resign themselves to a life of restricted activities and limited fulfillment, simply coping with the pain as best as they can. In my mind, this sends a lot of fear, a lot of threat to our brains. It leads to a lot of sadness and grief and frustration, and it's not very empowering. And it's also not true. Pain does not have to control your life. So while chronic pain can be unpredictable, it isn't a life sentence. Recent advancements in pain science and neuroplasticity have fundamentally shifted this paradigm. So instead of seeing chronic pain as this unalterable condition that we just have to merely adapt to, contemporary approaches highlight the potential for actual recovery and improvement. And this new perspective is grounded in the understanding that pain is not just a static experience, but it's a dynamic process that is influenced by various factors, including brain, cognitive processes, and emotional well-being. And neuroplasticity, for example, or the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, plays a critical role in how pain is perceived and managed. Evidence shows that with targeted strategies, you can alter your pain responses and improve your quality of life. So, any approach that includes education about pain science, movement as a safety generator, pain psychology, and active coping strategies, as well as hopeful recovery-based language, can significantly accelerate the road to recovery. And so that's why in my program, I use pain recovery language, where we are empowering you through this idea of neuroplasticity. So let's talk about that for a minute. Neuroplasticity, again, is the brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections. It plays a critical role in pain recovery. And research has shown that when we engage in specific strategies like new learning, pacing, baselining, creating rituals that allow for recovery, we can actually modify our pain perception and our responses. And this has led to a shift from passive acceptance of I'm just going to have to live with this to active engagement in a path toward recovery. The impact that this has is huge. It empowers us to view pain not as a permanent obstacle, but as something that can be influenced and changed over time. So this approach also encourages us to focus on gradual functional improvement and moving in the direction of recovery and in the direction of our values, the things that are important to us, rather than just enduring. And the modern understanding of pain recognizes the importance of a holistic approach. So in my program, I take a holistic approach. We want to leave no stone unturned. We want to address not just the physical, but also the psychological and social and contextual and language aspects of pain. This involves integrating practices that enhance overall well-being, that enhances resilience and mindset, and we'll talk about it in a bit. The impact here is that we move the conversation from just pain management, to a comprehensive recovery strategy that actually promotes your overall vitality. The other thing my program focuses on is personal agency, that you have some control, and resilience. So research highlights the role of personal agency and resilience when we're talking about chronic pain. When we actively engage in our recovery process, when we set goals, when we adopt positive coping strategies, we tend to experience better outcomes. And this is kind of counter to that passive approach where we lie back and we wait for our providers to medically treat us. The impact here is that this change in language encourages a proactive approach where you can see yourself as an active participant in your recovery journey rather than a passive recipient of pain or pain treatments. And the shift from learning to live with it to a focus on pain recovery, again, this reflects a significant advancement in our understanding of pain. By embracing neuroplasticity, holistic approaches, and personal empowerment through language, strategy, we can now recognize that recovery is not just about enduring pain, but it's about actively working toward a more fulfilling and balanced life. And so this evolution and perspective opens up so many possibilities for people living in pain. It offers hope and practical strategies to give people meaningful improvement and eventually finding one's own unique recovery. So I've created a 3-step system, and that's why my rhythm of renewal process does just that. It allows you to create a pain recovery strategy that embraces neuroplasticity and holistic approaches, and it starts with tackling energy management. Because again, we're talking about getting you back to the things you love, getting rid of all of those missed opportunities, reconnecting you with what brings you joy. So the energy management portion of my program involves creating routines that allow you to use your energy more efficiently and prevent burnout. So this concept is kind of like, we could think of it as energy budgeting. It's kind of like financial budgeting, where you allocate your energy to different activities in a way that aligns with your priorities and your values. And research supports that structured routines can help people with chronic pain to avoid overexertion and reduce fatigue. And I help my clients develop these routines in a way that is tailored to their lifestyle, what they like, what they want. It's very individualized. But we do this using some very practical strategies, like first identifying high priority activities. So which activities are the most important to you and aligning your energy allocation accordingly. This could involve scheduling time for work, family, hobbies, or self-care based on what matters most to you. Then we start setting realistic goals. So we're breaking down larger tasks into manageable steps and set achievable goals that consider your energy levels. This helps to avoid overextending yourself, and it reduces the likelihood of flare-ups. And I like to call this baselining. And then we learn and apply pacing techniques to balance periods of activity with rest. So this approach helps prevent that boom-bust cycle that's so common, where overexertion leads to increased pain and subsequent rest. And then finally, using this energy budget model. So just as you would plan your finances, we're creating a plan for how to spend your energy throughout the day. We're allocating energy for essential tasks and ensuring that you include time for rest, recovery, and the things that bring you joy. And so once we find our baseline of activity and a strategy for building, we can start to identify and create sustainable rituals. And I do this with my clients by establishing daily habits using the skills that they've learned along the way. And I teach them how to stack habits and other strategies for better success. And then we talk about other rituals. We personalize rituals that might revolve around movement, mindfulness, relaxation, or even just a consistent morning routine or a sleep routine. And if you don't feel like you have time for all of this, I think my clients would tell you that actually taking this new approach opened up time for them because they were no longer crashing and wasting time on the couch. So let me tell you a little bit about one of my clients. Her name was Monica, or is Monica, and she had always been a dedicated professional and a loving mother, but her chronic pain made it feel like she was constantly missing out on important moments with her children. She struggled to keep up with her career demands. She felt overwhelmed by persistent discomfort, and it led her to believe these experiences led her to believe that pain was a barrier to fully participating in her life and to ever experiencing joy. And through our work together, Monica learned to adopt effective energy management strategies. So we started by identifying her peak energy times and creating a personalized routine that aligned with her natural rhythms. She began to structure her day in a way that allowed her to focus on high priority tasks when she felt her best and schedule rest periods to avoid overexertion. And we also introduced these sustainable rituals into her daily life. For her, she really enjoyed mindfulness practices, and she embraced them to help manage her stress. And she incorporated relaxation techniques like deep breathing and progressive muscle relaxation to reduce her pain levels. And by establishing these habits, she was able to manage her pain more effectively and improve her overall well-being and just generally how she felt throughout the day. She was able to extend her energy and basically, kind of a feeling of feeling good for a longer period of time throughout the day. And as a result of these changes, she found herself more present for her children's milestones. Because she wasn't burnt out and her energy wasn't totally burnt out, and she was able to participate in their activities. She was able to be actively involved in their lives without constantly feeling drained. And additionally, she regained a sense of control over her career. So she started setting more realistic goals and maintaining a more balanced workload. Now, if you talk to Monica, she would say that she's enjoying more fulfilling moments with her family. She has a renewed sense of empowerment. She feels like she has some control over this. She no longer views her pain as a constant barrier, but rather something that is improving, but also something that's manageable and something that she can work around. And so she's moving forward with this new confidence. She's empowered. She knows that she has the tools and the capacity to navigate her pain, to find her recovery, and to stay engaged in the aspects of life that matter the most to her. And when we adopt these and other practical strategies, we can better manage our energy, we create supportive daily habits, we maintain involvement in life's meaningful activities, and ultimately we reclaim our balance and we reconnect with the things that we lost to pain. I call this rhythm of renewal, where we are reclaiming joy and balance, and we're doing this through creating together, slowly and with practical strategies and education, a sustainable lifestyle that feels good for you, that allows you to sustain productivity throughout the day, that allows you to kind of reclaim that joy and vitality that you lost to pain years ago, and to feel like what we have created can actually be a sustainable lifestyle where you can continue to move forward, continue to feel better, and it doesn't feel like a ton of work. It just feels like you're living your life. So again, I call this the rhythm of renewal. We're sort of finding our flow, we're finding our rhythm in a way that keeps that renewal process moving along, reclaiming joy and balance. So I want to thank everyone who's here again, whether you're live or watching the replay. thank you so much for joining today. Please put any questions in the comment box. And if you feel ready to start reclaiming your balance and reducing all of those missed opportunities that come up, the next step is to book a strategy call with me. And during this call, we'll dive into your current pain management strategies, and we will identify the key areas where you can make impactful changes. We can talk about how my program can leverage your strengths and skills so you can break free from the cycle of temporary fixes and empower you to move forward with self-led success. And if you're ready to take control and explore how this program can make a difference for you, just schedule your call in the comments. I have put the link there. Otherwise, the link is drannaredmond.com. So it's drannaredmond.com/discovery. And if you're ready to take control and explore how this program can make a difference for you, just schedule your call there. If you don't see any times that work for you, message me and we can find a mutually available appointment time. Alternatively, if you'd like to discuss further before booking, feel free to send me a DM because I really am here to help. I'm here to help you figure out what direction to go with your strategy. So that's all I have for today, and I don't see any questions, but feel free, you're always welcome to drop questions in the group, and I will talk to you all soon. Thanks for coming.